What's up, guys? Welcome back to Coco's Corner, another episode. And this episode is going to be a good one because we are officially at the end of the month, getting ready to start a new month, April. And with everything going on, I'm super excited to see what opportunities are available because, with all the coronavirus pulling the stock markets down, there's some great opportunities. Are they ready to happen right now? I don't know. Let's take a look and find out. Let's take a look at some charts. I'll be glad to share you some ideas. Alrighty, here we are. We are now looking at the S&P 500 E-minis future. We're looking at the monthly chart here. And as you can see, we actually have our first April bar showing up. March has closed, which is good. This is what I want to see. I want to see after all this occurred, everything went down, what the damage is, all right? It doesn't mean it's over, but this is a good little shakeout bar that we want to see. I had this level down here marked off as kind of my worst case scenario. And then, you can see we came down to here and we closed above the clouds. So we are technically still bullish, okay? May not be the way they projected in the news, all doom and gloom, whatever. At the end of the day, this is still bullish. This is one of the reasons why I personally like the Ichimoku cloud system. We have had major pullback, is essentially what's going on. But we are above the cloud, and that little shakeout bar is honestly a good look. You can see here, even right at the Cadenson in the past, we had a little bit of a shakeout bar and it held. So, all right. So moving forward, we have a major pullback. There's definitely some opportunities. Start looking at some stocks, right? Question is, are we ready to go bullish on stocks? We could still possibly go bearish. At the end of the day, we do not know what's going on. We have to be careful, okay? We have to try not to get too biased, try not to get too assuming. I personally, I'll go to the news, but at the end of the day, I'm going to follow the charts and give me the ideas, all right? One other thing to look at as well for a sign that I like is the VIX. Here we have the volatility index, and as you can see, the VIX is essentially, if you don't know, is basically a reverse of the stock market. So when it's going up, the stock market's going down. It's a good sign, good clues, tie it in with the E-mini to get an idea of what the stock market's going to do. And as you can see here, it is up, and it is, look back here, 18 all the way back here to October 15th. It keeps hitting this level here and hasn't broken it. It's managed to stay below it, and now for the first time we're breaking it. Let's see here. Let's go back. Now, if you go all the way back 2008, okay, you can see back here also 2011. So we've definitely gotten above this level before, 2008 being the worst, okay? History doesn't necessarily repeat itself, but it tends to rhyme, and you can see some similarities here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, keep an eye on the E-mini. I really want to start seeing some bearish movement going on here to reflect some bullish movement in the stock market. So I'll keep an eye on both. Let's go back to the E-mini real quick. And let's take a look at the daily. You can see here, we're still bearish. We're below the Cadenson, so we're strong bearish. All right, we've come back into across the Tingason, the red line. And honestly, like I said, it could take a second here. Might need to establish another bottom, retest it to really work this thing out. Let's go take a look at also the 4-hour. Essentially bridging the gap between the day traders and the long-term people and so on. And as you can see, this is a cloud breakout. It's got a high probability to fail. And honestly, we're probably going to consolidate for a while. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on the two things that I mentioned, particularly this time frame on the S&P 500, to look for whether or not we can have some bullish opportunities or some bearish opportunities. Because, again, this virus is a whole new circumstance for us. So we're not really sure exactly how the stock market's going to react to it. So we can't be biased. We can't be assuming. We need to really keep open mind. At the end of the day, I'm going to allow the charts to show me. what's going on, and this is a couple of key areas that I'll be paying attention to look for signs when to start looking for opportunities. And even then, I don't really necessarily. I'll probably watch the 4 hour, the 240, and I like to trade the 1 hour. So once I get to that and I get comfortable, that's probably what I'll start looking at. Now I have done, and that's just for some day trading for long term. Okay, I have actually started putting a list together. I've shared with you guys before. Immediately, I started looking at airlines, cruise lines, hotels. Those are what were getting hit the hardest, and they were all tanking. A couple of them I went ahead and jumped into on just my stash app. Why not? Threw $1 at some of them things. Who cares, right? You got to be able to trade what you can stomach, and I had no problem just throwing some fillers out there, and some are actually already up, so some of them aren't. And a couple of other things I looked at too was the banks. Definitely started looking at restaurants. That industry affected me personally. I manage a bar, and I currently am no longer managing that bar. It's all shut down. So I definitely went with that. I'm more familiar with that. Started researching some of that, and some of them actually still look pretty good. You can see here, the stuff that I have in the green are the ones that I really liked. Going back to what I was talking about earlier about being above the cloud or being above the green line or being above the red line. A lot of those I have in green are follow those scenarios where they're strong as hell. I tell you what's not doing well is crude oil. Crude oil sucks. It's going down. If you guys notice, gas has been pretty cheap. Which is awesome. What's not awesome is I'm stuck in my house and I can't go nowhere, so I can't take advantage of that cheap gas. So, boo-hoo. Anyway, I tell you what's doing real good, though. Retail, amazing. A lot of those were really strong. So I went ahead and started loading up a few of those on my stash app and just playing around with that. I've marked off some alerts. When I start seeing some setups on those 1 hours that I like, maybe even on some of those 2 hour, 4 hour charts, I definitely will look at some putting on some more positions as well and loading up on those. Healthcare, woo, it's what it is. I took it a couple of those, took it out. Some of them are great, some aren't. Pfizer, ironically, somebody brought that up the other day because supposedly they might have a cure. I don't know, whatever. I heard it through hearsay. I haven't really done much research into it. Based on the chart, it looks like it's horrible. It's tanking. It's not doing that great. So they could definitely use something like that to get them back up. But again, at the end of the day, that's all news to lead me to a chart, and the chart's going to be my final decision. That's how I like to trade. All right. So keep all that in mind. Again, I'm just sharing you my ideas. At the end of the day, you need to figure out what works for you. I personally like the Ichimoku cloud system. It works great for me for showing support and resistance levels. And that's what I want to find. I want to find out where things are going to stop going. And again, man, it just figure out what works for you. There's tons of indicators out there. I like a bunch of stuff. I've gone through a bunch of stuff. I even... Again, Fibonacci, things like that, whatever works for you, figure it out, okay? Find you a trading plan, test it out in paper first, please, and get you a system together and follow those rules and stick to that, all right? Especially in this time where everything's volatile, be careful and understand your risk versus your reward, okay? All that great stuff. I can't preach that enough, sorry, as well as practice that. But there's a reason why retail traders fail so often, okay? And you got to figure out what works for you. At the end of the day, it's your journey. It's you making this move. It's all on you. So, look, share your experiences with me. Comment. Let me know. Please give me feedback. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you do like. Stocks that you're interested. All that stuff. If I see something I like, you guys shoot me an email, whatever. I'll be glad to talk about it in the next discussion. Go over it. I don't mind. But either way, these are interesting times, and I think this is a great opportunity for us to get in. I remember back in 2008, I knew it was an opportunity to get in. The only problem was I didn't know how to get in. I didn't understand trading. I was brand new to it. I didn't even know where to go to even place a trade at the moment. And but now here I am again. And I want to take full advantage of this. And I hope you guys are too. But don't be greedy. Don't be impatient. Do your research and understand your risk, because the rewards will be worth it if you do all that. All right, guys? So thank you for joining me for another episode. We'll see you guys soon. All right, take care.